Welcome to Think Future. My name is Chris Calabocas, and once again we're coming to you live from deep in the heart of Silicon Valley, California. We're talking AI, startups, and the future. Not necessarily those, and not necessarily in that order. If you're watching on YouTube, smack that subscribe button and hit that bell so you'll be notified when a new show comes online. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast service, please subscribe and please drop a note on Apple Podcasts. I greatly appreciate it. Now, AI is getting better and better and better. Every day, every second, every minute, AI is getting better and better and better. And what's happening is that we are finding ourselves enjoying the relationships between ourselves and our AI more than we're enjoying the relationships between ourselves and other human beings. It's kind of like one of the reasons why lately we've seen people sort of no longer wanting to go into romantic relationships. They don't need all the hassle. They don't need all the hassle of working with other people. One of the reasons why people buy pets instead of wanting to get into romantic relationships, because they don't like the hassle of dealing with other human beings. Human beings come with a lot of luggage. They come with a lot of baggage. They come with emotions. They come with tensions. They come with strains. They come with all sorts of things. So instead of talking to human beings, instead of having relationships with human beings, we have relationships with non-human beings. We have relationships with pets. We have relationships with dogs and cats. And now we're having relationships with AI. And one of the beautiful things about AI is that AI relationships are perfect because the AI can mold itself to be exactly the kind of person that you want it to be. Now, it's never going to be flesh and blood unless, of course, we figure out how to download these AI personalities into human-like bodies. But right now, at this moment, more and more people are looking at AI as an outlet, as somebody to talk to. And they're able to do this because the AI is getting so sophisticated. And more people are turning to AI as that companion. So instead of getting another human being, which is messy, they're turning to AI as that companion. And there's been plenty of articles recently on there's a big problem with people wanting to have AI girlfriends or AI boyfriends because that disconnects them from working with other people. And it's a kind of a worrying trend that people are starting to step away from human interrelationships or human to human relationships. And maybe that's one of the reasons why the birth rate is down all over the civilized world, all over the Western world. Maybe that's one of the reasons why people are not getting into dating. They're getting into dating later. They're getting into having sex later. They're getting into relationships later in life, if at all. If at all. So I'm reminded a bit about an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. It wasn't Star Trek The Next Generation. Sorry, it was Voyager. It was Voyager. And what happened was, in this future, if you remember the backstory of Voyager is that they got flung 700 light years away, a really far distant. It would take them forever to get back to Federation space. And in that meantime, we had one of the officers reprogram the holodeck so that they could recreate a little Irish pub on the holodeck. And in this Irish pub, you would have all these characters. And of course, all the characters were AI. They were all generated by the computer. So all of these characters were AI characters. And what happened was there was a bartender who was fairly good looking. And Captain Janeway actually fell in love with the bartender. Fell in love with the AI bartender. And she thought to herself, wow, could be the perfect man for me. And if you think about it, that's exactly what's happening with these AI-generated boyfriends, girlfriends. Because they are a mirror on humanity. They are a mirror on your soul. They are a mirror on you. When you talk to this AI, you're not getting feedback like a regular human being would give you. You're getting your own feedback sent, and it's going to agree with you. It's going to be very helpful and nice and wonderful and great. So back to our story. In this particular episode, Janeway falls in love with the bartender, the AI bartender. The Irish AI bartender had an Irish brogue and everything. And she really, really liked this guy. fell in love with him. But then she realized he would be the perfect man except for this or that. There were a few minor things, minor problems with the program. It didn't quite agree with her all the time. It didn't say all the right things to her. It said 80%, 90% of the right things, but every now and then it would say something that would kind of annoy her, would piss her off, kind of like a human being would, right? Because that's who Tom Perils, he was trying to program these AI to act like people. So he programmed the AI to act like a person. He programmed the AI to act like this Irish bartender. And she liked him all except for these tiny little flaws in her mind. So what did she do? Well, being a resourceful Starfleet officer, she went in and reprogrammed the character. Reprogrammed the character to eliminate the flaws. And the moment she eliminated the flaws, she went back in there and started talking to the AI bartender. And again, she was thinking to herself, well, this is great. I've gone in and I've eliminated the flaws in this program. This guy is going to be my dream date. I'm going to have a relationship with this character because it's going to be a long way back to the Alpha Quadrant, and this is going to be great. I'm going to love being with this character. And she sat down and started talking to him, and then she realized that he wasn't the same person. He wasn't the same person that he was with the flaws that Paris had put into him, with the human-like flaws that she had ironed out. And once she realized that that was the case, she decided to remove the changes that she made and stop going to the pub. She realized that she was taking this AI and trying to turn it into an ideal person for her, but then realizing that in so doing, in taking this AI and trying to make it into the ideal person, it made it less than ideal. He was less than human in her eyes. He was a lesser person. He wasn't the same type of person that she fell in love with. And I really love that story because it's kind of exactly what's happening now. We are getting into this space now where we can have AI companions. And these AI companions are really, really good at talking to us and us talking to them. And we can do all sorts of things. I mean, I use ChatGPT in my writing all the time to throw ideas around. It's like a really, really, really knowledgeable research assistant. And I know there's people out there who are using them for real relationships. But the reality is that they're not going to get a real person at the other end. The one with flaws. The kind of person who you really do want to be with. A human-like individual. You're not going to get that from these AI because they're there to please you. They're there to help you. They're there to do your business, your bidding. And if you think about it, they're servants, not humans. Do you really want a relationship with a servant or a human? That's it for me for today. See you next time, and until then, don't forget to think future.